Sahsu are committed to protecting your rights to confidentiality. So we understand it's a privilege to hold this health information, but it's also really important to be able to hold it, to be able to look at risks to health and environmental risks to health. And we have a number of principles in place by which we maintain confidentiality. So the first of those is physical protection. So we hold the data on a standalone private network, so it has no connection with the internet, it has no connection with the college network, it's a completely separate private network. We also have certain other physical barriers, so access to the rooms on which the data can be accessed, have a swipe card, a personal ID card access, and they're in lockable offices. We have software controls in place to be able to access the data in terms of the login and monitoring of the data, and also how the data get on and off the private network. And our third principle is around training of staff, because you need to have knowledgeable staff who know how to handle data responsibly and ensure its confidentiality. So one of the areas in which we train staff is around the outputs from the research. So, for example, we don't publish small numbers, and we would never publish numbers of when there are small numbers of cases in particular areas. And that's because if there's one person in a neighbourhood with a specific condition, then that person might potentially be identifiable. So all of our data in tables are in aggregate format, and we provide averages and general statistics in any of the outputs to try and minimise any chance of breaking confidentiality. We're also very careful about our maps and the scales that we use in the maps and the actual spatial resolution. So, for example, we don't produce maps that are published that provide absolute locations of where people live. So we would provide sort of average rates in an area, but we wouldn't provide X marks the spot of where a particular person with a particular condition lives. The Small Area Health Statistics Unit doesn't share information with other groups, so the data that we hold are used just for Sahsu studies. They're not used, they're not given out to other data users. The health information is all held under specific agreements with the data providers, and there are time limits specified in those data agreements. And they do vary between the different data providers, but the data need to be removed from our systems at the end of the research period that has been specified. We also will remove your data from our systems at your request and in accordance with the legal frameworks under which we operate.